Welcome back, guys. What the fuck?
France!
You clocked it, yeah. France! Welcome back, guys, to episode number 55 of the Sweet Science podcast with your boy Fat Mouse. Who else we got in here?
I'm Cash with a K and not a C.
Fantastic. Episode 55, as I just said. Second week of 2023, the first week of any sort of action, and it kicks off with pretty good card, actually.
Yeah. We were in Washington D.C. Well, me and Mouse weren't in Washington D.C., but the fight game was.
We were taken to Washington D.C.
Taken to Washington D.C. Captial One Arena, where Gervonta Tank Davis met Hector Luis Garcia for Davis's WBA lightweight title, regular title, I think it is. Both undefeated fighters, 27-0 versus 16-0. Hector Luis Garcia, sort of unknown, not really a big name,
but blown up.
Yeah,
in the past
in the year, basically. Yeah, defeated Chris Colbert, which put him on the map. And then I think he fought again in August.
He did.
And won a close unanimous decision. So, yeah, again, undefeated fighter, tricky southpaw, and was coming in,
Puerto Rican? Is he Puerto Rican?
Dominican.
Dominican, thank you.
Dominican fighter.
Dominican.
I think he was a former Olympian as well. So, yeah, you got amateur pedigree.
Amateur record.
And a very good fighter in his own right. And, good fight in general.
Good fighter.
Good fighter.
It was.
No, I think he's a very good fighter.
I always fall for the hype. I always fall for that. The promotion. Oh, this is make or break. Or he could really lose this one. Don't be fooled. It's not a walk in the park for who the main fighter. The
A side.
The A side. Thank you. But I always fall for that. I'm like, nah, but because it could be the case. That way, when it is an upset, I'm not upset.
Even me, for a little bit, I thought about it and I was like, I think Gervonta will take care of this in a couple of rounds. But once I watched more of Hector Luis Garcia, I really like his style, man.
Yeah.
He had the shoulder roll going. He kind of fights in that Philly shell, counter puncher. But his nickname is the Android for a reason. He just comes forward, non-stop pressure, but it's calculated. It's not just going all out, guns blazing. He does it in a sense. He does it in a way where he preserves a lot of energy throughout the fight, and it was good. He's taller than Tank, obviously. I think he was like 3 inches taller.
Most fighters are.
Longer reach, etc. And he was using that early on. Tank was sort of working his way in. But again, a lot of guys, even the broadcast yesterday, I think it was for Showtime or PBC, one of the two, said the same thing that I think a lot of people think about Tank is they always think that he's losing the fight early on, and then he sort of bails himself out because he's very powerful, but he's reading the data, as they say.
Yeah, he's downloading the
He's
data.
reading the data.
Yeah. But that's quite a common thing to do when you have that much confidence in your abilities.
You don't mind going a few rounds
You can
down.
throw away. You can afford to throw away a few rounds and just get to know your opponent in real time rather than tape. Because tape is one thing and it's useful, but in the moment it's completely different. So it's getting to understand and to find out where he can set traps. Do you get me?
Yeah, 100%.
You have to give those. I have to, but it's very common to give those rounds away. Mayweather did it. Canelo does it. Well, they all do it. Do you get me?
100%.
It's very normal. So don't get fooled by the first few rounds, but also don't let those few rounds then build up.
Yeah.
And then you're chasing
the last couple, and you get to the championship rounds and you're a couple down and you start going all out and get caught. Because Hector Luis Garcia he was accurate, man.
Yeah.
Obviously, Tank on CompuBox was the more accurate fighter and landed the more shots. But there were certain points in the fight in certain rounds where I was like, wow, man, this guy's really technically sound.
Don't get twisted. Because
He'll beat a lot of guys in the division.
Tank is exceptional.
Tank is
so
elite.
In saying he was more accurate or better than Hector doesn't mean that Hector was dead.
No, yeah.
He was a game fighter there.
100%. 100%. Some of the rounds were very close. They gave some to Hector at the time of the stoppage. So obviously the decision, the result was an 8th round stoppage, I believe it was. It was in
end of the 8th.
Yeah, it was at the end of the 8th round. In the last minute or so, Tank hurt him badly and then caught him with big shot sort of on the side of his head, like around the corner of his temple. And he went into the corner and basically told him he can't see from his left, right eye, I think it is. He couldn't see from one of his eyes, and his head was like spinning, and he didn't know where he was. He basically said to his corner, "Where am I?
That's mad.
What's happening?" So I think he was obviously concussed at the time, but he didn't go down. The guy's chin is
must be granite,
bro. Shots, the shots he took throughout that fight, they could have knocked out guys or at least put them down. Yeah, and this guy, apart from that, really in the 8th round where I saw him really like, hurt, I didn't see him hurt throughout the entire fight. I was saying when it got to about 6-7, I was like, this is going 12 rounds. Yeah. This is what I thought. Yeah. Because it was a back and forth. It was a good fight, but Tank was landing the cleaner and harder shots.
But that is Tank's MO. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Because he's now, behind on points in the first few rounds, potentially giving them away. Yeah. Are you serious? This is meant to be a soundproof room. Sorry, you just heard a motorbike drive past. That's nuts. But because he's behind on points potentially, he thinks now I need to really ramp up the thing. I mean, and
he did that as well.
Yeah.
Certain parts of it where he just started to pick up the pace, pick it up, started landing some heavy shots, and end of the 8th round, Hector basically said no mas, and it was done. It was up until that point though, it was a good technical fight. Yeah. It wasn't sort of like the the all out action that we get with a lot of Tank fights, but this was two southpaws, they were both basically counter punching each other, waiting for someone to make a mistake. And again, with someone like Tank, you don't want to make that mistake because he hits so hard. But yeah, it was a good win. One thing I didn't understand is, not understand, but I get you want to stay busy, you want to fight a top fighter, you don't want to fight sort of these lower level fighters, and I appreciate that. Especially when you're in the position where Tank is, where you've got a super fight lined up in a few months. Yeah. And a lot of fighters don't want to jeopardize that. But I found it a bit weird that he's fighting a southpaw. I thought maybe in preparation for another Ryan Garcia, which is obviously planned to happen, scheduled for April 15th.
That's going to be sick.
Is you'd fight another orthodox fighter in the mold of Ryan Garcia. In general, they usually tend to do that. But again, this is why I like Tank a lot, because he fights anyone. He doesn't care. Exactly. He's not bothered about, let me fight someone the same style as Ryan just before I fight Ryan. He's like, you know what? Give me whoever's top, whoever's game, whoever's ready, whoever's going to give me a challenge.
That's very true. Dangerous fight to take. Not so much because there was always a chance of him losing a fight. Of course. Not so much because of that, but because if he does lose the fight, he loses a lot of credibility. You see what I mean? So
and that fight goes out the window. That big money pay-per-view fight,
Imagine that. This is one of the fights I'm looking forward to. Like one I'm really looking forward to this year.
Ariel Helwani basically tweeted last night, I think it was, or a few nights ago. I think it was the night of the fight. Sorry. Yeah. So this will come out in a day later or something. But he tweeted, he believes that Gervonta Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia sell the most pay-per-views in boxing as that fight. He thinks it does more than Spence Crawford and more than Fury Usyk. That's what
more than Spence Crawford, absolutely. More than Fury Usyk, probably. More than Fury AJ.
It's a huge fight.
I'm sorry. More than we're not going to do it again. I'm not going to get into this one again. It's a different thing. But
I think it does more than Fury AJ. The American market.
The American.
I think so.
But Tyson Fury has the American market and the UK market.
He does, but so does Tank and Ryan. And
no, they don't really have the UK market like that.
Not like UK market.
Tank definitely doesn't.
But
Ryan Garcia
Tyson has American market, but it's not like.
Nah, they love him. He's
love him, but
American.
I just think I don't know.
You know what they do when they give you that
just a fan
honorary degree or whatever? What do they call that? You know when they give you a degree from America? They'll give him an honorary passport.
Oh, honorary passport. Yeah, no, they've given him that little.
They'll do that kind of stuff because he's been in America.
But just imagine how big Tank and Ryan is going to be.
Insane.
Huge. And it's weird because I feel like they've got this a bit of respect for each other as well. Like there's a bit of bad blood, but it's not like, it's a bit of tongue in cheek and like.
It's bad blood because they know they're going to fight each other.
That's it, really.
Do you get me? Yeah. It's bad blood because they're both fighting to be the more relevant, the more liked, the more dominant, and just the top fighter of the division. Do you get me? But did they have any personal beef? Of course not.
No.
But you know,
Not
Ryan Garcia did say I think he tweeted something as well. Said this is like working.
He tweeted something like "Game over."
Yeah,
Tank.
yeah.
Jake Paul chimed in.
Yeah.
Jake Paul basically said that Ryan Garcia is gonna KO Tank Davis.
That's mad.
It's gonna be an amazing fight.
I cannot wait for that fight.
It's gonna be
like
super
both fighters.
Fight. Yeah,
it's a super fight. It's a superb fight. We should go to watch that.
We're gonna be there front row. Who do you think wins?
You know me, innit?
Ryan Garcia.
I say
Be honest.
random stuff in the spur of the moment. That's the truth.
Yep.
I like Garcia and I like Tank a lot. I think it's more exciting if Garcia wins. I think Garcia is he's more of a character anyway. So for me, I want his career to be the one which projects further than Tank's. Just because Tank is just I like him. I love his style. He's incredible, but he's just a weird guy who can't keep out of trouble, even if he's not actually done anything. He can't keep out of trouble. And that's what annoys me. Like, I want somebody who is more dedicated to the sport. Neither of them have proved that they are, to be fair. So I might just be speaking.
But in fairness, the points they're at in their career, like Tank, although there might be some troubles outside of the ring, he is dedicated. He definitely is. I see him in the gym all the time.
Of course.
You know, I feel like now anyway, like the past couple of years, I've seen a big difference. In
Tank Davis. 100%. Because of
he's
near misses.
Yeah, I get it. But he's just more relaxed and he's just more, you know.
Yeah.
He's just mellowed down a lot. Even on his press conferences, he just is like, I'm gonna do what I need to do in the ring. He doesn't talk much anyway because he's not the best talker anyway.
Speaker or talker.
But in general, like he just doesn't do it. He goes about his business. If someone talks shit, like he'll do it back. He'll fire back. But I like what you did there. You played it safe. I asked you who do you think is gonna win, and you told me what you want to happen. So I'm gonna ask you again,
okay.
Who wins the fight? I want to know your opinion.
It's a difficult one to answer.
I know.
I'm always on defense majority of the time. That's the truth. But
I want to press you just for an answer.
I think Tank takes it, to be fair. To be fair, Tank takes it.
Okay.
But Garcia's speed,
I thought you were going to say
Garcia has his speed.
Yep.
Although they both have speed. But what he trumps in is speed. And what Tank trumps in is power, I believe. But Garcia's speed, when you don't see them punches coming, you know, them quote unquote ghost punches.
Yep.
100%. That's going to be a problem.
No, I agree.
That's going to be a problem.
I think what I learned from the Garcia fight, Hector Garcia fight, Tank's defense is really underrated. A lot of the shots that look like we're connecting or bouncing off his shoulders, off his gloves, slight, like the last second head movements.
Those aren't the shots I'm worried about. You know, you said they're both counter punchers, right? Now, whilst Tank is counter punching, Garcia can counter punch quicker. So it's counter. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
I get what you're saying.
And that counter there is where I feel that Tank is going to have problems, because that's where he could be coming in with a very powerful punch, but a faster punch which lands first will knock him out or daze him or knock him down.
I just think the way that Tank wins this fight is I think he's going to have to walk him down. I think he's going to have to put a lot of pressure on him. I don't see him completely outboxing him. I'm not saying he can't. I think he can.
Can't. I don't think he can.
I think he can.
Outbox him
in bits.
I
just think because of the height, the reach, and the speed, it will be a lot more difficult for Tank to be getting in.
If it's not an active fight,
so he just needs to get in and I think walk him down, get him on the ropes, and start hitting him with just haymakers and just hurting him. I think in the end, basically, what I'm trying to say is I think in the end, Tank's experience at the top level against a lot of good or elite fighters will get him the victory.
I would say Tank 60-40. So I think it's close.
I think it's Tank 80-20.
80-20?
Yeah, I think so.
I was actually going to say,
I like
we'll go
Ryan.
from 60 to 65, maybe 70.
I like Ryan, but
I think 70-30 is too unfair. It's too unfair.
Don't get me wrong. 60-40, I think Ryan's a good fighter. I just don't think he's done enough in my eyes to make me think or believe that he could.
He's proven he can deal with adversity.
Yeah.
He's proven he's got power. He's proven he's so fast and so quick. You won't see punches. And that is the one thing out of all his other attributes, his speed is what really impresses me.
That's fine. I get that. I get that. That's all good and well, but he hasn't sustained it for a long enough period for me to be like.
But that's because he hasn't. We haven't seen him enough.
Because he hasn't. That's his fault, though.
Yeah,
that's his fault. What is he now? He's like, how many fights has he had? I don't know. You know, and it's to me anyway. I'm just thinking, Tank's been there, and he's been fighting. Like, what is he? 4-weight division champion already. Yeah. Like, it's. There's levels to this, and I don't think Ryan's at that level yet. I think it's too soon for him.
That's another Trump point for.
Not even too soon. I just think he's not good enough. I don't think he's on Tank's level.
You're taking a lot away from him, man.
No, he's good, but that's like me saying, like, a very good. Like, let me put it in terms of football to bore you again. Yeah,
literally.
It's like me saying, Ian Robin is an amazing player. Or he was, but he's just not as good as Messi. Doesn't mean that he's not a good player, but Lionel Messi is just a different level. And I don't think you'll ever get to that.
Okay, so these lot will hopefully understand.
Yeah, I don't know why I picked Ian Robin. It's such a random player to pick. Yeah. But it's like me saying, like,
I know Messi.
Just, Messi and Ronaldo are here. Yeah. And it's like me saying Benzema, 11. Like, like they're very good, elite. Just not there. But these guys are just there.
Like, madly, like Kobe and Kamaru.
Yeah.
Kobe's elite.
Yeah.
Kamaru, he just can't be beaten by him.
Yeah.
Maybe like that. Okay, I guess what you're saying. I guess I see it, but...
He's good enough. I think he's very good. I think he's good enough to be champion for a long time. I think
just for that, I want him to batter him and just so I can get bragging rights. So I can get the bragging rights. I don't know why. But shame on him when he better gets licks.
Time?
It's true.
But... Anyway, it's going to be a good fight regardless. It's exciting. It's going to sell pay-per-views. The hype's going to be through the roof. It's been a long time since we've had that in boxing.
Yeah.
Especially from across the pond.
Yeah, absolutely.
In Britain, we get it quite often now. We get big fights. We're quite lucky with that in that sense that,
I think we can thank
it's a bit easier. It's a bit easier to make these big fights. I think in America, it's just too many politics.
So much, bro.
And
it's jarring for a fan. It's just a waste of...
Because it came out of nowhere, this as well.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't spoke about. Yeah, there was little like... the horsemen are all in that conversation. There's always just like this, mix and match. Yeah. But it kind of just blew up out of nowhere. They just started going on Twitter saying, let's fight each other.
That's why I'm still skeptical about him.
I thought it was signed and sealed, but then Tank kept saying, I'm ready from my side. Let's get it on. But then in the post-match press conference, I heard him say, Ryan's already signed it.
Okay, but I'm just going to remain hopeful, man. And it says...
Who's Ryan Garcia fighting? He's got a fight as well.
Let's find out. You talk to us about why you think Michel Pereira is the best fighter in the world. This guy's an idiot, bro. Why? Ryan Garcia. Who's he fighting next? Who the hell is that you there? Is that him? American professional boxer.
Oh. Whoa.
I can't see anything.
On Wikipedia, the next fight is saying Gervonta Davis, April 15th in Paradise, Nevada, USA.
That's going to be sick.
But I heard he's fighting before that.
I'm not sure. I'm not going to lie.
But maybe he's not. Let me check his Instagram quickly. Because I remember them saying they both can have a warm-up fight. Maybe it's not confirmed from his end. So
maybe.
Yeah. Maybe it's not confirmed from his end. But, that was the discussion anyway. But yeah, it's happening.
Regardless, April 15th, God willing, we're going to see that fight. It'll be incredible. I don't really mind who wins. I like both. If they have a trilogy, if they have a rematch, I'm happy. That's excitement. That keeps that division entertaining.
Yep.
In an already entertaining division, but just as
is Tank the best out of all of them? Sorry, let me say that again without interrupting. Is Tank the best out of all those fighters? When I say all those, I mean Gervonta Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia, Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, and Teofimo Lopez. Let me stick to those five. Anyone else? Let's just go with them.
Kambosos.
No, forget Kambosos and Lomachenko for now. Okay. Let's just go with those five.
Did you say Teofimo Lopez? Yeah. I think you can count him out now.
No,
Not to say that I don't rate him as a fighter, but I don't put him. He's Ian Robbins or whatever you call that guy. He's Ian Robbins and they're Messi.
Ian Robin.
Ian. You get me?
Elon Musk.
But you get it? Like, yeah. In my opinion, I'm sure he's going to come back and it's the takeover and the retake over, whatever, innit?
I like that. Okay, so you've got Tio as fifth.
Fifth, no doubt, yeah?
Yeah. A low 5.
I want to see, not a huge low, but like a low 5. Tank, I think, what I want to see is Devin and Shakur. Yeah. Because I think they're so elite. I think they're so They're such good fighters, but the issue is that will never happen anytime soon. I don't think. They just won't allow it to happen. They won't allow it to happen.
So who's the best out of all of them? Actually, work your way up.
Immediately, right now?
Go fourth to first now.
No. You can't do that.
You can. I want to know your opinion. It doesn't mean your opinion is never going to change.
I know. It's a difficult one because Shakur is just incredible. But he's he's still quite rough, still relatively inexperienced. But he's got so much promise. Yeah, Devin Haney, I feel like he's not peaked, but he's close, and he's good. He's very, very good. I would place Devin Haney above Shakur, but I think that might be recency bias and just because he's in my mind a little bit more. Do you get me?
Okay.
And then Tank and Garcia. If Tank makes light work of Garcia, he comes down 2 or 3 spots. And then them two have to prove.
So you think Tank and Garcia?
I think Tank is at the top. Yeah. They
really
only because
you
they're
think Garcia's better than Devin?
bruv, look. I don't want to. Okay,
Michelle Pereira,
let me say this.
Ryan
Let me say this. Yeah. Are you trying to say you see a pattern? Handsome bears.
Yeah.
You idiot. Basically, until we see these two fight, Tank and Garcia, I can't really form a decision because I see Tank as elite. He's up there if he can maintain that focus and that discipline. But we have to see how he deals with Garcia before I can make a judgment on the rest of them. You get me? Shakur is just incredible. Like, I place all 4 of them very close to each other. I don't place Tio there. Lomachenko, I can't give a decision because he's just... I want to know if it's just age, if it's age now, or it was just a little banana skin that he encountered.
Yeah.
You get me? And he's back. I kind of doubt that. I'm leaning towards age.
Okay.
You get me? Who else do we see? Cambosis, unfortunately.
I think his level was shown. I think with the Teofimo Lopez fight, again, Teofimo hasn't been great anyway. So it's like, is Tio really as good as we think he was?
Do you see what I mean? Again, because he beat Lomachenko, that was his moment.
Yeah.
Since then, what's there been?
I definitely think George Cambosis is the lower of them all.
I wouldn't class him as...
The reason he makes up for it is his grit, his determination,
yeah.
his hunger. He's willing to scrap with everyone and stuff. But, these guys are just different kettle of fish. They're just on a different level. So, no, I understand what you're saying. We need to see them fight each other. All of them. Basically, they all need to fight each other.
It's difficult, though.
But I go with my top is... I think I will go with Gervonta Davis as my top. Then I'm going to go with Devin and Shakur. Joint second.
Okay.
It's too difficult for me to say. To be honest,
I put them at joint third.
Really? I will go. I'll go Shakur second and Devin third. The reason I do that is because when I see Shakur fight, I don't see any weaknesses. When I see Devin fight, I see him get hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
I see him get caught with shots unnecessarily. I've seen him hurt a little bit. Shakur just blows a lot of people out of the water and they just can't keep up with him.
And this is why I said Shakur has got mad promise.
100%.
So much potential.
100%. He's different. Like, he
just can't place them.
He's smiling as he's beating you up and he just...
he's in his zone.
Yeah,
that is his
he loves it. He loves
comfort
it.
zone,
He loves
and
it.
he just can, So that is one thing that I think is massive. If you can get into the ring or into the octagon or wherever you are and be that calm, that Mayweather-esque, do you understand? Responding and not responding with a struggle like Tommy Fury did in his last fight. He's like, "Oh, pussy!" When you're actually they're not talking to you. When you're just listening to the commentators and you're responding, or you're able to smile and it's a legit, genuine. Do you know what I mean? You're calm. You're in your zone. Shakur Stevenson is something special, man. But I don't want to make a decision until these two are fought. So Tank and Garcia. I want to say Devin Haney because I like Devin Haney.
I like him a lot. I really do.
But Shakur Stevenson as well. What is there not to like about him?
There's something about him that just when I see him fight, I'm like, no one can get close to him, bro. It's like
crazy.
He is the next super fighter.
How old is he?
Yeah, they're all young. I think Shakur's 23 maybe now.
I think something like that. Yeah. And the joke thing is he looks 17.
He looks so young.
He looks so young. It's like I think, look
25.
at that. 25. That's not even young anymore.
But yeah, he's 25. Ryan Garcia is 24. Devin is.
Well, I'm getting old, bruv.
Devin is. You're getting old. Leave the room. Leave the room.
Terrible.
Devin's 24 as well.
Yeah.
Tank, I think, is the oldest out of them. I think Tank's probably like.
He's 27, I think.
27 or something. 28, yeah.
28.
Yeah, 28.
Hey, he's no spring chicken anymore, mate.
He just turned 28 in November though, so
Okay.
yeah, but like
He's practically 27, so I'm right again.
yeah, you win. You won.
I'm the best.
You won the battle of the boss.
around.
He's
Battle
the
of
best
the what?
around. No one's gonna ever. Come on.
Keep me down.
He did
Hey,
it
you're
again.
such a
He
waste,
did
man.
it
Listen,
again.
anyway.
2 weeks in a row.
Okay, so that's
the
that
state of that division.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
And the state is good. The state is good. But you
A
know,
lot to look forward to this year as well, man.
a lot of
Let's
other
just see what
divisions
other
are a
fight-
bit up in the air.
For me, as long as there are 1 to 3 mega fights, I'm happy.
Yeah.
We have 1 for now. I'm happy.
Yeah.
As
I'm
in
just
like
thinking
in a
there is
year.
Nothing scheduled right now, which is a super.
Nothing
fight.
scheduled.
I'm excited for I know it's not a super fight, but it's a good domestic fight. I'm excited for Chris Eubank Jr. Liam Smith. I think it's gonna be a barn burn. I think it's gonna be a good fight.
It's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be everything you just said. I'm a bit fuming.
What? Because it's not the Ben fight.
Because it's not the Ben fight. And I'll tell you why. Because I had no investment in the Ben fight. I wasn't interested in it.
Why?
Until
Why?
because before it was announced and before it was even spoken about, you're like, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. The discrepancy in weight is too much. It's not gonna happen. When they announced it, I was like, this is bonkers. It's not gonna happen. And then we got to announcement and then this and it's getting serious and they're doing their media tour. And then I'm like, whoa, this is really happening. This is mad. And Conor Ben started to really look like he had a chance. Yeah. I know that was Chris Eubank Jr.'s plan, but he really started to look like he had a chance to me. Yeah. Then on open workout or media workout day, the whole thing gets scrapped basically.
Yeah, that was just.
It's just, it's bitter.
That was draining.
Yeah,
because it got
emotionally draining.
like you're so close to it, and the build up was amazing. I loved the
was,
build
it
up.
was sick.
Eubank was hilarious. Ben is just his normal agitated. Like I'm just ready to scrap, mate.
Yeah.
And then literally 2 days before it's done, it's upsetting. But
Trying for
January
me.
21st, we'll get Eubank in the ring
Yeah.
against Liam
That's
Smith.
around the corner.
Good fight. I can't wait. It'll be an exciting fight. Good fight to watch.
Mhm.
Anything else
not
in the
super
boxing?
fight, definitely not worth. Not one of my super fights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A lot of people will say, "Oh, I'm not really excited." When the fight happens,
Yeah, of course. I'm staying.
I'm
calling.
calling it now. I think it's going to be one of the fight of the year candidates. I think so.
That's big.
I think so.
Big.
I think Liam's
At 50%.
with KFC in him, with KFC in his
Sponsored
body.
by KFC.
I just think Liam's the way I see it happening is I think Eubank's going to come out and not showboat, but assert his dominance in a certain type of way where he's going to act like he's really comfortable. He might hurt Liam, but I don't think Liam's going to go anywhere because of the ego. Just because he's like, I do not like this guy. He disrespected me in the press conference.
Yeah.
Even if he cracks me, I'm not going out. You're going to take me out completely or I'm staying there.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's going to be back and forth. And Liam likes to come forward and throw shots. And
I wasn't disagreeing with you. It's going to be an interesting fight. It's going to be a good fight. I'm not even going to give it a second of attention until the walkout. Do you get me? But yeah, that is boxing. UFC, again, there's been no action inside the octagon.
oh,
But the president's been active.
yep, he has been.
I mean, I'm gonna laugh at these things.
He's promoting his new business. He's promoting his new business. It's not funny.
Slap. What's it called? Slap champions? What's it called? Slap heroes or something like that.
Slap Force. I don't know actually. Slap Championship.
Slap Nation.
Slap.
We're just brainstorming ideas for his slap show.
Slap. Okay, I wrote Dana White slap.
Oh god, you're gonna get something else in the news.
Something else is coming up. I'm trying to find out Dana White slap.
Slap FC.
Slap company. I mean, there's so many memes and jokes.
I hate it. Yeah.
Is it Power Slap?
Is it called Power Slap?
Dana White's Power Slap League. Yeah, it was
What
that.
a
That was
name.
it. Power Slap League.
Okay. Anyway, he's
PSL.
done some extracurricular promotion for his fight, for his promotion. He was out on a New Year's party or wherever he was.
Yeah, New Year's Eve, I think it was.
Clapped by his missus, which is an unbelievable violation. And I'm not going to just brush over that point like it's nothing. Yeah, he got clapped by his missus on camera in public. On camera, but on someone's phone. But still, it's been seen by millions, yeah? That's already like what do I do now? Do you get me? Instinctively, he clapped her back.
Yeah.
Madness in it, because he's not a weak man anymore. Do you get me? The brother's, he's a big you. Like, regardless, I'm talking about size, but did you see his hand, his arm?
Yeah.
They're pretty big. It's his biggest asset. But I mean, that's been all over the news. That slap, it's a difficult one. I want to talk about how he could have reacted better, but I can't, because in that situation, how everyone, Ariel Helwani, I don't care. You can slap me 10 times. You can slap me 10 times. That's how I've been raised. Put yourself in that position. Get clapped and see. Do you get me? Get clapped and see, because it's very, very difficult to say that I would do nothing about it. Do you get me?
Yeah, it's easy
I'm not
to
at all saying what he did was right. I'm just thinking.
Shouldn't have, though.
Of course. What do you mean? Probably. Of course,
he shouldn't have. Yeah, he shouldn't have done it.
But then why are we not saying she shouldn't have as well?
Of course, no. That's just a funny. Like
It just is what it is. Like, it's one of them situations where, to be honest,
it's very tender to talk about. It's such a difficult thing to discuss.
None of us should have an opinion.
Yeah.
My opinion is more about other people's opinions than it is about what happened.
Yeah.
Because I don't have an opinion about what happened.
Again, regardless, both of them in the wrong for what happened.
In-house beef.
The only thing is they're both wrong for what happened. But again, I feel like Dana being the bigger, just
having more to lose.
Yeah,
nothing to do with the bigger man. Nothing to do with being a
man.
He's got way too much to lose,
you've got eyeballs on you everywhere, and Dana's been in the game a long time, so he knows this.
Very difficult, man.
So you got to bite the bullet sometimes and be like, you know what, all right.
Yeah, but it was instinctive.
I know, I get it.
Instinctive.
Regardless, though, man, you've got to just say, you know what, I've got too much to lose.
100%.
And it's embarrassing and it's not worth it, but just cool.
Pride is a madness.
Walk away for a little bit, let calmer heads prevail, and then come back and then deal with it in your own way, talk about it, whatever you want to do. But do it indoors in your own house. Yeah,
see, my issue isn't with how he dealt with it, what he did, what she did. That's done. I see this I see it on road. I see couples fighting all the time.
Yeah.
It's just because it's people's reactions to it.
Yeah, it's because it's.
And I do think certain people jumped on it, and some people shied away from having an opinion on it. 100%.
Of course.
He's fueled by alcohol, which is true. You never know. Okay, cool. But that's one side of the thing where there's a bit of pandering, and then there's the other side where, no, I would never let that happen. You can't say that because you have no idea. Yeah. You have no idea.
And it's I'm going to talk about like in terms of
apologies.
The alarm. Yep. Time to leave. No, I'm joking. I'm going to talk about it in terms of actual like technicalities of it or something, like in the moment.
Yeah.
I don't know where they were. I don't know what they had. I don't know if they were intoxicated or whatever it was. It looked like they were. So it's very difficult in the moment to say, like, in that situation, after however many shots they had or whatever they drank or whatever they sniffed or whatever they did. In that moment, you're already out of it yourself. You probably don't know what's going on. It's not an excuse. I'm just saying, I'm playing devil's advocate here. It's just like, it's really difficult to just say, I would never have done that. He shouldn't have done that.
You can't say that.
It's not the good thing to do. It was wrong. But anyway, I don't even know what I'm talking about. It's not what I want to talk about. Yeah. What I wanted to discuss, is it because he's Dana White? Because he's so powerful? Because he's the man that it kind of getting brushed under the rug?
100%. 100%.
Okay.
The things that he doesn't have full control over, for example, TBS, what do you call it when they show the show? I mean, airing his show.
Yeah.
The Slap Force or whatever. TBS is the
channel?
The channel that are doing it, yeah? So they've essentially pulled it without saying a word. There's been not much speak of it. But That's the only, like, anything, again, in-house in terms of in the UFC, what is he going to do? Reprimand himself?
No, I get it.
I know for the image of the UFC, but like someone like Sean Strickland would say, we're all cretins. We are just all backward people. They don't give a damn about this stuff. Of course, people have morals and some people have, things that they go by, but they're all just brutes and they don't care. No one cares. So many people have been in the papers for this stuff, and they're continuing with their careers, and it gets brushed under the carpet or swept under the carpet, but because this is one thing and this is another. I don't think that they should go together anyway. Whatever he does outside of his company is up to him. Yeah. I'm not saying he should go tucking people and beat up his wife, but I'm saying I don't care about that aspect of things. I'm here to watch fighters and fighting. You get me? I don't think you can mix the two. Anyway,
it was
100%. They are 100% not speaking about it. What Daniel Cormier's going to say? Nah, that was out of pocket, man. Well, now he's jobless. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Anyone, the Count, Mike Bisping, flipping anyone says anything, they're going to lose their jobs.
Yeah.
So they have to just stay quiet.
They have to stay quiet. Yeah, it's sad. It's the
Dana White doesn't even let you criticize the referees.
Yeah, I know. Without getting ripped to shreds or something happening. Yeah.
So what about if you want to come for him?
Yeah,
the only person that went for him fully is Ariel Helwani, who has a vendetta, has a personal issue with him, and they both have. Am I shouting? Sorry. They both have their reasons for disliking.
Yeah, I get it.
Do you get me?
Like, that's what I wanted to talk about as well.
Okay.
I watched Ariel's piece on it, and it was insightful. It was mad. It was. You can tell how much he's been affected by Dana, and the reason he says it is just in general is just, he, from what I got is he just doesn't like hypocrites, yeah. And I get it, and the whole thing with him and Dana, there's so much that we don't even know about, but obviously what came out was he leaked something years ago about Brock returning to UFC, and Dana was fuming about that. It was just, Ariel's moving mad now. Ariel is on smoke with everybody, and it's for me, it's fun to watch. I love it because it's entertaining. You get to hear stuff which we've never heard before. Things coming out, and he's always said he's not the type to talk about these situations or talk about people in certain way or discredit them or try to bring them down. He's not that kind of guy. Whereas Dana, on the opposite, whenever he got the chance to slander him, he would always do it.
I'm going to give you an
and now he's taken back. He's literally thrown it all back in his face.
Yeah, this is the thing. So my unpopular opinion is this, yeah. I prefer what he calls High Road Helwani, yeah? Because it almost seems like Ariel Helwani doesn't have it. He doesn't have that rage. So when you want to switch, you can't say words like, do you know what really hurt me and was like a stab to my heart? Bruv, this is not this. If you're fuming, if you're angry at somebody, don't use those terms. Anger is different to emotion and upset. Do you get me? So now I genuinely think he was just so happy that the situation between Dana and his wife happened and he could now speak freely. And that's fine. I completely get that. Because Dana White has been laying into you every opportunity he gets. But at the same time, either respond in the moment, yeah, and just say, and make him look stupid. And in a situation like this, say, I'm going to take the high road. I'm going to be thing. But you lot can see for yourself what kind of person he is.
Makes sense.
He didn't need to say, I'm just stating the facts. I'm not. I had to be very careful. And, my family advised me not to comment on this. But F that. I'm going to do it anyway. It seemed like a very weak, very I'm so happy. Do you get me? That it happened and I can finally, shit on Dana White. And that's fine. But you had so many opportunities to shit on him and you didn't. You do it with chest from the beginning. Does it make sense?
But I get what you're saying, 100%. I understand what you're saying. Again, on the fence here, playing devil's advocate, whatever you want to call it. Do you think that this moment was pushing the button?
This is an Ariel Helwani wet dream.
Okay.
This situation.
But that's what I'm saying, though.
It's like, oh my God!
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, though. Isn't it because it's the final straw kind of thing? It's the straw that broke the camel's back. It's like,
just
you know
recently
what?
After,
now, done.
I get it, and it's off the back of the Paddy Pimblett.
You called me you called me that. You basically messed up relationships with fighters.
If I were him, I would rather he mention the Paddy Pimblett interview and say that's so recent, and like you did that so unprovoked. Now look where you're. Don't talk about 2016 when he said, "Look at my kids and what my kids going to say about me," and now what are your kids going to say about you? The whole thing. He's too emotional.
Do you think he held on to a lot of the stuff from before?
I think,
but I don't blame him for that though.
I'm not gonna lie.
Imagine being in a position where this guy basically was your boss for a certain period of time, and then controls basically the whole. You've left that company, you don't even work for that, but he controls the whole industry basically. He's the most powerful man in the industry. So wherever you go, this guy's got someone either listening in on you, spying on you, putting you down, keeping you basically. They're trying to keep you down.
Certain positions. You can't go beyond there. Don't try and deviate from where we're. And I understand.
And in Ariel's defense, he is the biggest journalist in MMA.
Absolutely.
Boxing, like when it comes to combat sports, there's no one on his level. He's different level to everybody except me. But like, I think it's just timing. Like they say, timing's everything. I think this is the perfect time. It's
perfect timing. So you're trying to say that
because he couldn't before.
He
couldn't really go out and be like. He kind of needed something. He could have done it with
the Pimblett situation.
He could have, but it's like no one. Everyone's just like, oh, you're being too emotional about that.
But he spent an hour talking about the.
No, I get. Yeah.
He could have just said, "Dana White, you little prick, keep my name out your mouth." And then a couple weeks later, this would have happened and said, "Keep my name out your mouth once again." Do you get me? Because this is what happens otherwise.
You're basically saying it. Play it like you're just an idiot.
Keep energy the same. Like. You don't have to, like, you can't go from not responding much, but just pulling up receipts and being somewhat diplomatic about it to all out emotional. It just seemed for me, and I don't dislike Ariel Helwani. I just feel, and this is the truth, sometimes that even his situation with Dana White and his situation with Paddy Pimblett, and even with some of the fighters that he has, he just seems disingenuous. Do you get it?
You think so?
I do. Now that's not a problem. If I'm mistaken, I'm mistaken. He knows. I don't know.
Did you?
Oh, remember? I'm the one that had faith in you 5 years ago. It's too much of that all the time. When you do something like genuinely,
you don't mention.
You don't keep mentioning it.
Okay. You
can mention it once. So you remember our conversation, and you do it with a bit of tact. No, I'm the one. Do you remember that? Or I've given you.
I've never looked at it like that. Yeah, no. I need to study.
I don't particularly like it.
I need to look at it a bit more.
But I wonder if I had all these, if I was rubbing shoulders with all these fighters, all these top level guys, would I be doing the same thing?
Yeah, I know it's difficult.
Hey, do you remember when I liked you?
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. You want to keep people sweet.
I get it.
You got to look after your own self and your family and that, and then that's the only way you can do that is by making sure these guys don't actually hate you because. The guy in the industry who basically runs it already dislikes you and can basically tell someone, don't chat to him. You know, not even like if you want to keep your job because he's not the type to do that, but it's like, you want to stay in your boss's good books. You do, regardless of what you're doing. You don't want to piss off your boss.
And what Paddy Pimblett did also was a beg move. I didn't like that move either.
I didn't agree with that.
He just couldn't. It's like everything that I know about you, I'm going to bring up that you like and that you dislike. I'm going to bring up and I'm going to. Lick your bum about it. Do you get me?
Yeah.
And he spent a lot of time talking about.
It's funny. He's talking about disingenuous and stuff. Did you watch his stuff with Dylan Dennis? I don't know if you did.
I did. Of course, I did.
The piece where he not the interview he did with Dylan Dennis
after
the where he's talking about he's a liar and
I didn't like that. I thought that was.
That's what I wanted to know. Yeah, about that. Because when I was watching it, I was like, "Oh man, you're being a bit too harsh here. This is you're going a bit too hard at the guy." But then,
I disagree. Listen, I thought this was the most genuine I've ever seen them two, Ariel Helwani.
Yeah, but then at the beginning, that's what I thought. I was like, oh man, you're ripping into him a bit. Like this is a bit deep. Like,
but it was light-hearted.
But it made sense. It made sense because the guy violated you. The guy came on your show, used up your time, used up your views, basically.
Yeah.
Same thing he did with KSI.
Only to pull out.
And it was just like, even I was thinking, like, I was happy the fight was going to happen. I used to like Dylan Dennis. I always thought there was someone in there who's a bit confused, a bit like misunderstood. He looks like, he just looks like Miskeen, bro. Like when you hear him talk, he just sounds like he's not being himself, but because he's really forced himself to be that guy. When he's not, he just looks like that normal jiu-jitsu guy who's always smiling, he's happy. And, from people that talked about him before, that's what he was like.
Yeah.
So then when I heard Ariel talking about it, I was like, oh man, he's pulled out just now. He's already getting grilled. This on top, Ariel's just going to put the nail in the coffin. But then I understood it, and I was like, you know what? He's right, man. He violated you. He took your time. He took your views, your resources. Like, I know it's not that deep.
He used you.
But he used you. He used you in that sense.
Fair enough.
So I got where he was coming from. I understood it.
That, so what was his benefit then? Because he never did anything with the views. No, Dylan Dennis didn't do anything with those views. It was the MMA hours views.
I think he's going to come back in Bellator or something then in a month or two. I just think it's just
I wouldn't trust him. I wouldn't trust him. I would not depend on him to fight now. He's just going to pull out. Do you get me?
No, but it's true. What it's what they said as well. Is like, don't put him as the main event.
Yeah.
Put him on as the second or third fight. If he does pull out, you can bring in someone else or pull up someone else from the card.
He has to have
but
one more.
He's not going to main event anytime soon anyway. It's just, it doesn't make sense. And you know, when I was watching that, I was a bit at the beginning. Like I said, I was a bit like, yo, man, this is a bit. Ariel's going mad. Like,
are we talking about the interview or the
post interview? The thoughts later. And then it kind of made sense to me because I was like, yeah, man, like, why would you do that?
I'll tell you what I saw. I saw two old friends somewhat squashing beef, yeah?
In the interview.
Yeah, in the interview. Somewhat squashing beef, taking digs at each other, but in a light-hearted manner. Yeah. You're lying again. Those teeth are yours.
I really enjoyed it.
That's another lie. That's another.
I thought the interview was amazing.
It was one of the most incredible. Why? Because that was genuine.
Yeah.
The whole thing was genuine. The one thing I didn't like, which... Like Dylan Dennis, and the thing is, you have to deal with each person at their level. Does that make sense? Dylan Dennis coming in and refusing to shake hands, you know that's a stunt. You know it's a stunt, yes or no?
I knew straight away.
Okay, so
Ariel took it too personal.
Not exactly. He knew it too. So then when he sat down and just did that handshake there, never shake somebody's hand sitting down. And if someone that you respect, or want to show respect to, do you understand? So that was clearly an act. It was clearly an act. And then afterwards, his thoughts are again. It just seems like I knew he wasn't going to fight. Okay, you probably did know, and you were right. But you can't say, what I didn't like was lie after lie, even about his teeth and about his friendship with Conor McGregor and him not having a coach was ridiculous. But you can't say that these things led you to hate him more. I know you might not like a liar. I don't like liars. But you don't absolutely despise somebody because he says that those teeth are his, whether they are or not. Do you get me? It's very
dramatic.
It's over dramatic.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
I think he just got fed up. I think it was that breaking point. You get to that point with anyone, like you can get, you know, when you've known someone and because his point was I've been vouching for him and I've been trying to give him this platform to be like, you know, let's change the perception.
He said that
people.
several times. Yeah. He said it several times in the interview.
So I think he just gave up and just thought, let me just grill, because he's already hated now. Dylan's disliked by everyone. Before he had a bit of the MMA crowd on his back. Now the MMA crowd had just turned on him anyway. And Ariel, like I said, I think he just
coffin. It just seems like the interview was so successful. Let me have a post-interview piece about it. And let me get melodramatic. Let me get excited. Let me get emotional. Let me speak some hard facts about what I thought about him and try and imitate that success or emulate that success. Okay. Unfortunately.
No.
But
I get your opinion. That's why I wanted to talk to you about it. I just wanted because I want to know what the people think as well. I want to know what Ariel Helwani thinks. So I'm gonna tag him in this. Obviously, we're gonna at Ariel and hopefully Ariel, if you get a moment, we'd love to chat.
Watch the whole pod.
You watch it, Ariel. Subscribe to it, like it, and comment. As should all of you. But you know, I want to get his opinion on it as well eventually. So hopefully, Hopefully we can talk to him as well because I think
prove me wrong and prove him right. He's a legit fan. I mean, I subscribe and I watch, but prove him right or wrong, whatever. Yeah, I think that's a decent time to stop it. So, guys, this has been episode 55 of the Sweet Science Podcast. 2 5s make 10, so it's episode 10 really of the Sweet Science Podcast with your boy Fat Mouse.
I've been Cash with a K and not a C. It's been an absolute pleasure.
It's always a pleasure.
It is.
I'm not gonna lie.
It is.
See you next week.